My name is Trapence. I'm from Malawi. I'm a director of an organization called SEDEP. When you talk about the social, cultural, political issues in Malawi, I think they are very, challenging in terms of the issues of access to justice. I think these are the factors or the barriers in terms of access to justice amongst our communities. Whether you talk about the right to education, the right to employment, the right to health, they use culture, saying if you are gay or a lesbian or transgender or bisexual or intersex, you don't belong to the African culture or the Malawian culture. People have also used religion to discriminate individuals on the basis of sexual orientation. In terms of politics, I think that's another area that we have seen that our leaders don't regard LGBTI communities as citizens. So for us, I think what we have seen is that the government is not willing to protect the LGBT community. We have had some cases where the government have promised to do something. In this case, even protecting individuals on the basis of sexual orientation, but that is only on paper. I'll give you an example in the case of Malawi. In 2015, the government accepted two recommendations at the UN. One is to address violence against LGBT communities, but as well making sure that LGBT communities are able to access services. They have only tried to deliver one issue in terms of the access to services. I think we have seen some policy shift in terms of the inclusion of the LGBT communities in the HIV policies. But also we have seen some other programs, reaching out to the LGBT communities. But what we have not addressed as a country is to address the legal barrier, because that's where I think we have issues to make sure that everyone is protected like anyone else. The government in 2013 announced that they won't be arresting consenting adults, but we have had some cases where LGBT individuals have been arrested, and we have cases now in courts where individuals are answering under the penal code in terms of sodomy laws that we have. So this is the contradictory coming from the government, because the government introduced a moratorium not to arrest individuals on the basis of sexual orientation. On the other hand, the police is also doing contrary to that commitment. So for us, I think we need a government that can also meet these international human rights standards, but as well our own laws to protect individuals from discrimination. In Malawi, we have been doing advocacy work around the rights of LGBTI community, specifically to look at the laws that are discriminatory, but as well to look at the policies and also some other health and social-related policies. Yeah, TCEN has been, playing a great role in terms of making sure that the mechanisms that we use, the different instruments that we use to do our advocacy, are able to be translated into action. Specifically, we are able to use those instruments at grassroots level to make sure that we're able to, improve the lives of our communities. In this case, we have been using the United Nations mechanisms, including the Universal Periodic Review, the ICCPR, the CEDAW, but also we have been using the African Commission mechanisms. But what we haven't done much is to use this Commonwealth space in terms of us engaging on governments. The laws that we have came from the British, so it was important for us to use that space to make sure that we're able to remind our own fellow governments, saying that these are laws that we inherited from our colonial masters, and yet our colonial masters, they have repealed, they have done away with those laws. So it is important for us to have an honest dialogue with our government. So TCEN is there to play the role for us to be given space to engage different stakeholders.